Hi there, and well done for carving out half an hour in your day for a rowing workout. Now, time is what this row is all about, and time is of the essence. So let's get our machines set up, get into the warm-up, and I'll talk about what it is that we're doing today, all right? So first up, let's go to your resistance on your machine and set it to wherever you want to be. A good guide for that is that you get a nice weight from the stroke, you feel connected, but you don't have to heave and struggle against it in order to get it moving. On an Aviron, I have my resistance set to 10 today. If I was using the Concept 2 in the Aviron app, I would have my drag factor set between 130 and 140. Next up, go to your foot stretcher height, and I want you to set it at a position where you're able to come into the front of the machine with your shins in a vertical position comfortably. If you're too high, it can get a bit tough to get there. If you're too low, it can actually be quite easy to scoot straight past, and what happens then is your backside escapes from underneath you. You lose power, less effective workout. All right, so we're going to get into this 4-minute warm-up, and then we're going to start off at a nice low intensity, low stroke rate. Then we'll build up for 2 minutes, do a few drills, and then we'll get into the main workout if that's okay with you. All right, cool. Let's get going then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So let's just keep this nice and easy for the first minute or so. Get your body moving. Maybe you haven't done any kind of movement, any kind of exercise today. So that's why they call it a warm-up and not a hit the ground running at full speed up. So just think about rocking forwards over your hips and then backwards over your hips. It's like tipping a bucket of water forwards and then tipping it backwards again. It's not about trying to curl that bucket into a ball. And then when you come into the front, nice straight arms and push with the legs. Let that power come up through your body, into your hands, brace against the handle, and only pull at the finish of the stroke. And then for the next minute, just look to increase your power to a point where you start to get out of breath. Your heart rate increases, but you know you can still hold the conversation, okay? Kind of the same as if you were walking up, say, 5 flights of stairs. Exercise, but not hard. And that's what today's session is going to be. Exercise with little moments of slightly harder, but it's not going to be an absolute tough workout. We're just going to alternate 1 minute at 1 stroke rate and then increase. Then we'll take a little 30-second rest, do it again, increase some of the rates. There'll be 1 kind of hard minute, but that's it. But it's going to give you a really good cardio workout and also a good kind of push from your legs workout too. Talking of legs, in 2 strokes time, if you want to follow me, we're going to take 1 foot out of the straps, put it on the ground, and continue rowing. So still push with that leg that is strapped into the machine, and think about sliding forwards until that shin is in a vertical position. With only 1 leg strapped in here, it should be easier now for you to get into that compression at the front of the machine. Pivot onto your toes, then onto your heels on the foot that's on the floor. Let's take 1 more here. Swap over your feet. Continue with the next one. And just do the same thing again. So push with that leg that's still strapped in. Still think about straight arms at the front, only pulling at the back. This is a nice little single leg workout as well if you put in a nice push. And we'll take 1 more here. Put that foot back in again so both feet are in. Tighten your straps, legs straight, and we're going to row with our back and arms. So that means swinging over your back, then pulling in your arms, then out with your arms, and rock forwards again. So you're taking the initial strain of the stroke with your backswing, and then pulling and making sure to reset your stroke again with arms away and then back rock. 1 more here. Roll into the front with straight arms and the forwards tilt, and just push with your legs. Now don't go too hard and far here. All you're doing is working on the timing of pushing with your feet. At the same time, your hands brace against the handle, and also not pulling early So you can see my arms are straight and I'm holding that forwards tilt as I push. Let's do 2 more of these. 1 more. Finish with a flourish. So that's the warm-up done. I want you to have a quick drink, a little wiggle of your backside, and then we'll get started with today's main session. Okay, then hopefully you've had that quick drink and you're ready to go. We're going to start today's main session at 22 strokes per minute for 1 minute. You'll probably be going like 1 or 2 seconds faster than you were in that warm-up, but not too much faster, okay? And I will guide you through this warm-up. All of the stroke rate changes and things, I'll tell you what they are and they'll be on screen as well, all right? So, if you're ready to get started, let's get going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, 22 strokes a minute is one of the more frustrating stroke rates in rowing. Well, it is for me anyway. So, there we go, that's 22 now. It's trying to find that sweet spot, trying to find the rhythm of drive to recovery to hit 22. Sometimes it's just a little bit, I'm off kilter, let's say. So we're going to do this for 1 minute. And once that minute is up, we are going to push a little bit harder with our feet to take it up to 24 strokes a minute for 1 minute. And then we're going to return to 22, then back up to 24, then we're going to have a 30-second rest. So 3 more strokes here, and then we'll take it up to 24. 1 more. So here we go then. So I want you to push a little bit faster, or harder, sorry, with your legs. And that will give you a slightly faster drive speed, but actually it's more your recovery that shortens to increase your stroke rate. And your handle is what controls your rhythm here. So get that handle into your chest and then release it smoothly but quickly away from your body to then start that rock forwards over your hips, ready for the next stroke. Okay, 3 more here, and then we'll ease off the pressure. You ready? So let's go down to 22. It can be a little bit tricky, these change ups, change downs. Don't worry, nobody's watching. Nobody's gonna come and shout at you if you end up at 20 strokes a minute or 21, which I'm at right now. Of course, this is a lot simpler if you just follow me. So drive when I drive, recover when I recover, and follow my rhythm. So it's a fast drive and a slow recovery. Okay, 3 more here. We'll go back up to 24 again. 1 more. Here we go. And you should really be another 2 or 3 seconds faster when you take the stroke rate up from 22 to 24, if only by virtue of the fact that you are rowing 2 strokes more per minute, you should be going faster. But also because you are pushing harder with your legs, more power is going into the machine. And regardless, it's not really what matters at this point on machine, on the numbers, it's how you feel. This should feel like you're starting to see that this is going to be a good workout. Breathing rate's up, heart rate's up. Let's take 1 more stroke here, and then we'll have a 30-second rest. Now I'm just going to do an active rest, just doing back and arms rowing, just to keep my body moving. You can of course totally stop for these 30 seconds and have a drink. Wiggle your backside, make sure you're comfortable on the seat. And then in 10 seconds time, we're gonna go starting off at 24 strokes a minute again. So after this stroke, you ready? And let's go. So this time, we are changing up from 24 strokes a minute to 26. So the first minute's at 24, and then we'll take that intensity up to 26. So really, the end result of today's workout should be that it felt hard. Not maximum, but you should come off feeling you've had a great workout, but you don't need to have a lie down, let's say. Okay, so in 10 seconds time, we're gonna take it up to 26. So same again, we're just gonna push a little harder. You ready? Here we go. So push that little bit harder with your legs. Feel more of a hang off the handle. You're bracing against the handle more because you are pushing harder with the legs. And then the speed you end up pulling the handle into your chest at is the speed you release it at. Get your arms straight, rock forwards, then bend your knees. 10 seconds time, we'll go back down to 24 again. 2 more strokes, 1 more. Let's take it back to 24s. Ease off the leg pressure, slow down that recovery a little bit so that you are taking 1 stroke every 2.5 seconds. So, much like all of the rows in this series, this one is down to you get out what you put in. This could be a nice, easy row if you keep the intensity low, or you can really push in the power and turn this into a really rough workout. It's your choice. Come back and do it again, but put more power in. Okay, 2 more strokes. 1 more. Back up to 26 again. You ready? Let's go. And you might be wondering, can't we just row at the same stroke rate for 20 minutes? Come on, it seems a bit complicated. Well, the variety helps in a few ways. First of which is it's a lot less boring. You spend 20 minutes just rowing at 22 strokes a minute. It can get a bit dull. Even if you're watching your favorite TV program. But also, it's a great way to add intensity bursts without making it too much hard work. Okay, 3 more strokes, then we'll take that rest again. 1 more. Okay, 30-second rest. But when you can be more controlled over how you're putting power into the machine, whether that's intensity or stroke rate, you get a much better workout. And that's really what it comes down to. Okay, 10 seconds time. We are gonna go all the way down to 20 strokes a minute. Okay? After this stroke, we're gonna do 1 minute. A nice, easy 20 strokes a minute. Isn't this nice? I could read a newspaper on the recovery here. 1 second drive, 2 seconds recovery. This is lovely. This is like a walk in the park. However, the payoff to this nice, easy intensity is we're going to follow it by 1 minute up at 28 or higher. Okay, I'll let you just pick whatever high intensity you want to row at. We're going to do that for 1 minute and then we'll go back to our rest. So we're only doing a 2 minute set this time. So 3 strokes time. One more. You ready? Let's take that stroke rate up and go fast. Okay, 1 minute of this. I really want you to put the power in and get the stroke rate in, or up, sorry. I'm kind of between 28 and 30 here. My pace is 144, 145, which on the Averon is 300 watts. But don't worry about me. The only reason I'm telling you that is so I can then tell you what the 22 values are so you can see or hear the range. But this should be fast. 10 seconds to go, then we get a rest. 2 more strokes. 1 more. So back to that 30-second rest. Hopefully your heart rate is up. Hopefully you felt that was a tough 1 minute interval. Now we're back down to where we started. 22 strokes a minute in 10 seconds time for 1 minute. Ooh, that was spicy. 1 more. Okay, you ready? Let's get back to those 22s. 2 little ducks. And don't worry, we're not going back to that 28 again. We're just going to do how we started. So this one is the 22, 24. Then we'll do 24, 26. And our 20 minutes will be up. So at this stage, this really is where you start to think, okay, I've only got 8 minutes left in today's workout. Have I hit my intensity goal for today? And if you haven't, I want you to push harder with the legs to keep the stroke rates the same. Okay, 3 more strokes. Then we're gonna take up to 24. 1 more. You ready? Let's go. So, push harder to take it up to 24. Like I say, you can really push hard. I mean, I'm at 149 pace right now. I think I went a bit too fast stroke rate rise there. I'll slow down a bit. Got a bit too eager beaver. But you can really push, hang off the handle, and surge that intensity through the roof if you want to, while holding this stroke rate. 2 more strokes here. And then we're back down to 22s. Here we go. So, my pace for these 22s is around about 156. So, it just shows you, I'm not really thinking pace. All I'm thinking is stroke rate. And then the pace for me and the intensity kind of follows that naturally. And that's why I bang on about technique all the time, is that when you row pushing with the legs and hanging off the handle, that consistency of your technique means you can control your intensity just by your stroke rate. Okay, 2 more here. Back up to 24s. After this one, let's go. 1 more minute of these, and then we'll take that 30-second rest again. So the reason I keep on talking about setting your own intensity is that it really depends what state you're coming to this from. Maybe you're coming back to rowing and you need to build up your fitness, in which case you probably want to keep these low intensity. Or maybe you have a fitness background and you want to improve your rowing, in which case you might want to go a bit harder. 2 more strokes. 1 more. Whew. We'll take that 30-second rest. And amazingly, I've done my maths right today. Not that I've made a mistake before, but still. I'm still pleasantly surprised when I go, oh, look at that, we're about to hit 16 minutes. And we've only got a 4-minute interval to go, so that makes 20. Woohoo! Okay, so 2 more strokes. And then we're gonna go back to 24 for 1 minute. You ready? Let's go. So this kind of progressive pyramid or ladder, whatever you want to call it, should, when you're putting in the right intensity, even if it's just a normal intensity, this should have given you a great workout, which you can then boost and turn into a much more anaerobic workout by pushing harder into the stroke. And that way, you'll get fitter and stronger too. I mean, rowing isn't directly a strength workout. Fair enough, this Aviron Strong, if I whap the resistance all the way up to 16, then it will be, oops, sorry, up to 26, sorry, forgot that. So back up to 26 strokes per minute. I was too busy doing a salesman job on the rowing machine. But you saw the counter in the screen. You knew this was about to happen. You were ready. 30 seconds to go at this one. I'm keeping an eye on the timer this time. Make sure, push the power in with the legs first. Straight arms. Only pull at the back. You shouldn't even feel like you're pulling from the front. Just bracing. 2 more. 1 more. Back down to 24. And where these 24s may have seemed a higher intensity when they followed the 22s, now they feel much more like recovery. The good news is we've only got a minute and a half of today's workout to go. Then we'll do a 2-minute cool down, and that is you all done with today's workout. There are many other ways to train. This one doesn't really have a performance target, it's just about getting fitter. 2 more strokes, 1 more. Back up to 26 for 1 last minute. So this one is just about fitness, creating a change in your body, a change in your routine, trying to get you into the habit of sparing half an hour for yourself to sit on the rowing machine. And remember, if you're ever struggling, a great trick is to make sure your shoes, shirt and shorts are always lying out, ready for you to pick up and go. Nothing worse than sorting through a drawer for 5 minutes trying to find your shorts. 2 more strokes. 1 more. Hooah. And that is our 20-minute workout done. Have a quick drink, have that wiggle of your backside. I'll give you a few seconds and then we'll get started with the cool down. Like I say, that's us all done. So hopefully you're ready. We'll start cooling down in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So I just want you to find an intensity here where it's kind of like the warm-up intensity, to be honest. You feel connected to the machine. You feel things are calming down, but it's nowhere near feeling like anything that you just did in the main session. And then now we're 30 seconds in, you can start to ease off that intensity. Maybe think less about that push from the legs and just start to think about the sequencing of your handle. So handle comes in, relax, let it come out, straight in front of you, rock that body, then bend your knees. So don't worry about the leg push, just think arms, body, knees. I don't know if you can see, but I tend to sit up as I come forwards. So I sit up onto my sit bones so that I'm not just curling my lower back to come forwards. I've got good posture, which then means I'm up on those sit bones as I come into the front of the machine again. And that helps when I push my legs, the power goes up through my posterior chain, through my core, rather than if you've got slumped lower back with your hips pointing backwards. That tends to put that power into your lower back. You don't want that. So we're almost done. 2 more strokes from me. 1 more. Thank you so much for joining me for this Time for Change workout. I hope it gave you exactly what you were looking for. Remember, you can come back to any of these workouts and change the intensity you row at, and you'll get something different out from it each time. Unfortunately, my chat will still be the same. Meh. So thank you once again. Please let me know if you enjoyed this one or not. Remember, there's a whole bunch of other workouts up here. Remember, there's a whole bunch of other workouts up here Remember, I've got a whole bunch of other workouts up here too for you to hunt out. So until the next time, please row well, be well. Bye-bye.